guys, this is Sam
And Justin.
at the Survival Review, and today is Halloween!
Yes, it is.
Happy Halloween, you guys, from us at the Survival Review.
And today we're going to be talking about a movie that has Halloween in the title.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Yeah, and this is a movie that has very mixed opinions.
Yeah.
And,
I started by saying we did do a review of Halloween 1 last Halloween, and we hadn't reviewed Halloween 2. So don't be looking for that. We're just skipping on to 3.
yeah, we're skipping on to 3 because it's such a different...
Yeah.
It sets itself apart from all the
Yes.
other movies.
And it's one of the few, out of the Halloween series that I have to, without a doubt, have to watch every Halloween. So, the storyline... So remember how the Halloween series focuses on Michael Myers?
Yeah, this one doesn't.
No, not at all. It doesn't even take place in the same town. It takes place in California.
You see him on the TV.
Yes, yeah. So he's technically in the movie.
Yeah, but other than that, no. It has nothing to do with Michael Myers, no Donald Pleasance, no anybody from
Jamie Lee Curtis, no it's not even a slasher movie.
It isn't. It's actually more of a science fiction movie, really, than anything else. But
so some backstory for that, for if any people are really confused right now, is that Halloween 2 took place right after Halloween 1.
Same night.
Yeah, it starts a second after Halloween 1. So it's pretty much just one long continued story. And at the end, Michael Myers dies. And not like other sequels where he just gets defeated and comes back. He dies. He gets blown up. He gets set on fire.
And shot.
Yeah, and burns to death. And there's no tease for a sequel.
Nope.
So the producers decided that, our series is called Halloween. There's a lot of things you can do with that.
Exactly.
So,
it's not very specific to the plot of the first two movies.
Yeah. So let's do an anthology series. Where every year will be a new Halloween movie, except it'll be something different. And then even those Halloween movies can spawn their own sequels if they want. So they made Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
And a lot of people, including me sometimes, don't like change.
And it bombed. And I don't know, it could also be contributed to the fact that people didn't know. Because this was the 80s, they didn't have the internet. They just had TV commercials and the occasional magazines and stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as common knowledge. So a lot of people went into the movie expecting Michael Myers and Donald Pleasance and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
And instead they got a movie about a crazy mask maker who wants to kill all the kids on Halloween nights.
Exactly. But,
so that turned off a lot of people, and they scrapped the whole anthology idea, made Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and the series has continued on ever since as a Michael Myers
you would think that Tom Atkins would just turn everybody back onto the series with 3, but it just didn't. It wasn't good enough.
So the plot.
Well, like I just mentioned, Tom Atkins is the main character.
Yes.
He's a cop.
No, he's actually a doctor.
Oh, he's not a cop in this movie.
No. One of the few. He's a doctor.
I was joking because he's a cop in every movie.
But he's good at it.
But he is.
He's awesome. He's the man. But anyway, before we get to the cast. So the plot, it doesn't take place on Halloween. It builds up to Halloween. And there's this mask company called Silver Shamrock Masks.
That has a wonderful little ditty song that plays on the
it's not annoying at all.
No, nobody's ever been annoyed by this song.
No, it's perfectly great.
Yeah.
Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Silver Shamrock, there's some weird stuff going on with this factory.
A man is suddenly killed in the hospital after being sent to the hospital holding a Silver Shamrock mask, saying they're all gonna get us and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the doctor and the man who just died, his daughter, they decide to go investigate what's going on, and they come across the main bad guy, Cochran, who was the old man in RoboCop. But anyway, the plot basically turns into the fact that he wants to kill all the kids on Halloween because in the mask, on the chip that's the company's logo, there's something in that chip that activates, and not perfectly explained, but the mask kind of forms and just kills the kids.
Yeah, it's really out there.
It's the type of movie that if you really think about it, you can easily pull it apart. You can easily take it apart.
No, it's not a movie that you should think about or try to think about it logically. It's
just sit there and enjoy it. Because even as much as I love this movie, if you think about it, I don't know how they got a piece of Stonehenge into that building.
Yeah,
that's
I
part of the
mean,
movie. They steal a piece of Stonehenge, and it's
and who knows how they did that, but and again, it sounds really weird the way
Yeah,
we're describing it, but
it's
you
the movie is ridiculous. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
but you could probably tell by the way we're talking about it right now that both of us really enjoy this film.
As we've mentioned many times before, I love the Halloween series. It's my favorite horror series. I'm actually gonna say this is my favorite sequel out of all the Halloween movies.
I would actually probably have to agree. This is up there between this and Halloween 2. Those are my two favorite sequels.
To me, probably between this and Halloween 4, I'd say.
Four is
a little bit better than 2.
is close.
But that's more for nostalgia's sake. But anyway, that aside though, I think this one, it has a great Halloween vibe to it.
Yes.
With John Carpenter's music is great. It's just so awesome. And it just kind of reminded me of Halloween a lot when I watched this movie. It just has that feel to it.
It does.
It's great in that regard.
Again, like we kind of mentioned, it's not so much a horror movie as
Yeah.
much as it is a science fiction movie.
Kind of, yeah.
And-
Just more elements. There's like robots kind of in
Yeah.
it. So you know, that it adds to the
Weird.
weirdness of the movie.
Everything about it is just plain weird.
But I don't know, it just
But-
flows well. It has,
It's fantastic.
also has one of the craziest, great ending.
Yeah,
Has
the
a-
ending is fantastic. The last line used to be
Yes.
my ringtone for a while, just because it's that badass.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
then speaking of the cast a little bit, all the cast does their job well. They're all into it, especially the bad guy, Cochran. That guy, he's awesome.
Yeah,
And there's this one scene where he has Tom Atkins tied down. He's telling him like what his big plans is for Halloween, talking about like the history of Halloween. And it's a really chilling speech, and it's just so sweet.
because he gives it really well, and that's
Probably one of the best scenes in the movie.
oh, definitely the
right
highlight
there.
of it.
It's great. Tom Atkins is just
Tom
Tom
Atkins
Atkins.
is always amazing because he's Tom Atkins.
can't go wrong with Tom
You
Atkins.
can't.
I bet nobody
I've
did.
yet to see a movie where I didn't like Tom Atkins.
Mm-hmm. I bet nobody knows what we're talking about.
No one knows what we're talking about, but Tom Atkins is amazing,
Yes.
and you should watch every single one of his movies.
Yeah.
And that includes the Maniac Cop movies.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because Bruce Campbell's in that too. So
Exactly.
you got two great guys. So anyway, back on the subject
Yes.
of Halloween. The movie is directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who was the production assistant, like production manager on first Halloween, and also did some stunts in that movie as Michael Myers, and was offered the chance to direct Halloween 2, but turned it down because he's like, it's the same thing as Halloween 1. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So he actually turned that down, and when they asked him again to do Halloween 3, and they told him the story, he's like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
It's the last movie to have any involvement from John Carpenter. He wrote and directed the original, and wrote the second movie, and is actually surprisingly responsible for all the gory scenes.
Hmm.
But and then this one he was like a producer and like did the music. But after this is when he left the series. So it kind of has that like kind of classic Halloween feel to it, at least with the first 3 movies, because they're kind of connected in that regard. They had a lot of the same cast and crew together. So that's just something that's really cool about the first 3 movies.
Yeah.
So the violence in this movie is actually pretty surprising. They kill a kid.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's kind of really surprising.
And in a really
grotesque way.
Yeah,
it's not gory.
it's not gory
But
per se, but
it's
it really
really-
is the kind of thing, especially with the lighting and
Yes.
just the sound in that scene,
Mhm.
especially.
Yeah, it's actually it's probably another one of the best scenes in the movie.
That's something that can really creep you out.
Yeah, it's really eerie. And then there are also some really little nods to the first Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It's played on TV twice. Well, once. The first time you see it, it's a commercial for the movie, which is kind of a funny nod.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you see it playing on TV in like the background in one scene. So it's kind of a cool little nod to the original.
Yeah.
So
And out of 10, it's really tough for me for
I
this
know.
movie. I would honestly say I could give this movie an 8. It's just one of those movies where, yes, I do love the movie, but it does have its flaws. It's not perfect, but it's definitely up there as a really, really good movie.
I agree with you on some of your points, but I'm going to go 8.5. It's not the perfect movie, but
No.
not at all.
But obviously, both of us enjoy it. But
Mhm.
one thing, as a warning to you guys, we're not guaranteeing that you'll love this movie.
No, not at all.
This is another one of those movies that, yeah, we love it,
Mhm.
but we we can understand people who don't necessarily
Oh, yeah,
like this
make sure.
movie.
I mean, I don't like it when people hate this movie just because of the fact that there's no Michael Myers.
Yeah, that I'm not like.
That
If that's
annoys
the
me.
only reason you don't like it, then I
That's
mean
stupid.
that's another thing. This movie, if it didn't have the Halloween name,
It would be
It-
much more liked.
yeah, it
definitely.
would be liked by a lot more people. It probably
Mhm.
wouldn't have bombed quite as bad.
No.
And
But I mean, I can understand people not liking it as part of the Halloween series because it's not really part of the series, you know?
yeah,
But I don't get why I hate when people say they hate it only because there's no Myers in it. Unless they give a good reason for hating it, you know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah,
And
have
there
good
are
reasons.
some legitimate arguments
Yes,
as to
I
why
will say that, yes.
people don't like the movie.
There
And,
definitely
we're not,
are.
We're not going to deny that.
No.
But in our opinion, we both
Yes.
enjoy the movie quite a bit, and
Awesome
we
movie.
think it's definitely worth checking out. So,
Especially around the Halloween season.
oh yes,
It makes it even
now
better.
is the time to watch it.
Yes.
And I think that's just about all we've got to say.
Mhm.
And we will see you guys later.
Yeah.
Happy, happy Halloween.